She is a corporate leader in real estate industry for 3 decades and has been a CXO position with DLF, MR and many such developers. A recipient of over 40 awards, she has been working extensively on gender integration, skilling and water saving as well as startup accelerators in the real estate industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. Ananta Raghuvanshi. Our next panelist has donned many hats. In addition to being a versatile actor, she is a successful entrepreneur, a social influencer, a sports lover, a fitness enthusiast, and an advocate of body positivity, as well as an author. Ladies and gentlemen, she hopes to inspire, inform, and entertain everyone throughout her life journey, and she's been one of my inspirations. Please put your hands together for Mandira Bedi. She is a next generation entrepreneur who has been leading the business to new heights. She is the director of Metro Group and is the first woman to lead a city or a state chapter in CREDAI by serving as the president of Bhubaneswar CREDAI for the year 2023-2024. Ladies and gentlemen, played an important role in organizing India's first woman business at Bhubaneswar in 2022, which was a huge success. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a round of applause as she walks. We have Sofia, Firdous joining us. And Sofia would be moderating this session. Over to you, Sofia.
Before we get into some deep conversation, a very simple question for both of you. Oops.
Go for it, Sofia.
Yes.
Firstly, before you ask any questions, be it rapid fire or otherwise, what I would like to say is the three of us are following two incredible speakers, Negi ji and MS Bitta ji, and I have to say, from my end also, one big round of applause for them. They were so inspiring, they were so incredible, and they also are a very tough act to follow. That said, it's wonderful being here for Navigate and being in the company of two really high-powered ladies, and I'm looking forward to this session. Now, fire away. See, this is force of habit.
So, Mandira, tell me, cricket or fitness?
Cricket first, then fitness.
So, Dr. Ananta, real estate or mentorship?
Real estate or?
Mentorship.
Mentorship. Mentorship for sure. Mentorship in real estate.
You ask a difficult question, you'll get a complicated answer.
So, Mandira, you have smashed patriarchy right from your first show, Shanti, where you played a very strong, independent woman 30 years back. Along with that, you have also represented international cricket on national television as the first woman. But आज भी जब 30 साल के बाद आप सुनते हो ना कि महिला ने ये किया, महिला ने वो किया, तो what is your perception when you hear those? And what specific change you actually want to see in the society?
Well, the change I'd like to see in society is much more than what we're getting to see today. I mean, when you open the newspaper, even today, there will not be a day where you won't read about a crime against women. And it's very unfortunate. you know, I being in the media, being in front of the camera, I think we have a responsibility, makers of content have a responsibility to put out inspiring things, because a lot of our audience, a lot of people sitting at home watch and get inspired by what they see. So if they see men disrespecting women, they think that's the way it should be. They see it in their homes, they see it on television, they see it in movies. So I think I'm an advocate for positivity, and I also believe that we should put out more positive content. We should put out more, you know, things to inspire people. You know, content can either be inspiring or it can be mirroring life. When you mirror life, it's nice, but when you inspire, you uplift. So, of course, I'd like to see women, I'd like to see, firstly, in a room of 1,500 people, more than just 50 women in real estate. Are we going to see that next year? Okay, maybe not half, but are we looking at maybe 350? Yes? Something like that. I'd like to see that gap, you know, that gap which we have in certain professions. I want that gap to lessen. Every time I fly, on an aircraft and I hear a woman captain, and she says, you know, this is your captain from the flight deck, and I get just so happy and inspired, and I clap after every announcement. But I think it should become commonplace. I think it should be 50% of the time that I fly, I hear a woman's voice. I wish we'd see more women in professions that up until now have only been called men's professions. Even cricket, before the 2003 World Cup, it was unheard of for women to be a part of cricket telecast. And even women's cricket. I mean, we're in a nation that is passionate and, you know, crazy about the game of cricket, but they like men's cricket. And there was a time when women's cricket was such that there was not even money to play a tournament. If a country was coming to visit us, there was no money to play that tournament. Things have changed right now. Now there's a women's Premier League as well. Things have changed, but those changes are slow. They're happening. Movement is happening in the right direction. But the India I'd like to see is, you know, where it's commonplace that you see half the women and half the men in any profession. And it's not surprising to anyone. And we're not talking about breaking glass ceilings, and we're not talking about smashing patriarchy. We're saying this is how many women there are. And roughly 50% are women and 50% are men. That's what I want to see.
We all hope for that. And as you can see, this is a room full of real estate people. And it's very sad to say that I also have an experience of 10 years. But abhi bhi bolte hain male dominated. So it's a long way to go, these unconventional fields.
It's male dominated surely by numbers. All the women over here, make some noise. Women are just more enthusiastic, stronger, and better people. That's why they're louder than all the men here. Go all you 50 women. Next year it's going to be 350.
So Dr. Ananta, सबका एक ambition है यहाँ पे, हम सबका है कि हम अपने company को पूरा ऊपर लेके जाएंगे. We'll take it to the top. And to be on the board of the leading company like DLF, Imar and Damak, how difficult was it, and what were the specific traits या फिर any strategies you took? Because there are a lot of women and we all would like to hear a little part of your journey, how you went there to the top.
Thank you so much. See, nothing is easy, no matter which profession you are in, nothing is easy, whether it's media or whether it is real estate. I think it all just comes out from your passion, basically. If you are passionate about something, as the saying goes, you'll find the purpose of your life as well. I think I just enjoyed meeting people, talking to people. Communication was my strength. And therefore, whether it was customer centricity or whether it was managing my teams, I think my strength and power came from that, from my people interaction skills. However, like Mandira ji just said, that we just have 50 women in a room of 1,500 realtors. Now, what my suggestion to everybody here is that if you are willing to really reach anywhere, you can. Because skilling is the easier bit. And that is why I said mentorship in real estate is important. And which is why I'm working so passionately on gender integration. Because At the starting point, men and women are all there. When we go for campus placements, when we do the hiring there, they are all there. But then, whether there's a bereavement in the family, or whether there's elder care, or whether there's children to be looked after, whatever happens, it's always the woman who steps in as a volunteer and takes on that responsibility. So if employers are a little more sensitive, if leaders are a little more sensitive, I'm not saying that hire or help if the merit is not there. But if there is merit, then even when rehiring is required post-pregnancy or something, I think a little bit of inclusion, a little bit of diversity would help. And you're absolutely right. When I started working with DLF, it was on 17th June 1991. I was all of 21. But along with my job, I kept working on everything. So whether it was my MBA or PhD or MA or BEd or digital marketing from MIT, all of that happened with work. So one thing you have to do, it's not an easy ride. You cannot just reach anywhere without the effort. So the effort has to be there. Your EQ has to be very high. Just choose your battles and let not those motivate you to sit at home. Acha, ye ho gaya office mein, bas now I'm giving it up. Don't give up if it is your dream. If it is really your dream, then chase it. Be like a person absolutely on fire till you achieve your dream. But you can't do it alone. So, you have to work with people and learn to work with people and have the courage to speak your mind. But I think ethics and values go a long way when you come up to the leadership level actually. So if you want a seat on the table in a board position, it's not just about clearing the MCA exam and being eligible to be a certified board member. There's a lot more that goes into it, to be actually make yourself the voice that people are wanting to listen to, Thank you.
So this is for all the men out here. Basically, Mandira, you have, again, I'll come back, you're the first women to again represent international cricket on national television. So how important is it for all the men, for all the companies, for all kind of business to actually have women, especially in the top positions and all? What difference it made जब आप वहाँ पे गए and आप उसके बाद रास्ता कितना खुला and आपके रहने से क्या difference आया वहाँ पे?
Dr. Ananta is going to answer the first part of the question better than I can. I can tell you how hard it was for me because, being up until the 2003 World Cup, if you ever switched on the television and if you ever saw any programming connected to cricket, it would be, I don't want to say it in a mean way, but it would be a bunch of people in suits talking about the intricacies of the game. And in 2003, when I was asked to be a part of the panel, be a presenter, not a moderator, presenter, a cricket presenter, firstly, it took a lot getting there. There were about 1,000 women who auditioned for that particular role. And, the country loves cricket. It's very passionate about cricket, but it's also very possessive about cricket. So it was about also having to prove myself. You can be sitting on the panel because the channel has chosen you. But to get people's acceptance, who are the people who are watching, that took a lot of time. And, I'm sorry to say this, but we are a very male chauvinist country, and especially when it comes to cricket. It's like, who is she? Why is she sitting on the panel? Does she deserve to be there? Has she played any cricket? Has she played any international cricket? She's played nothing. Why? What gives her the right to be there? And I know there was a lot of negative publicity and a lot of negative press on me at that time. And that was not helping matters much. And my first 1 week was an absolute disaster. And it's very important when you speak of mentorship, it's very important to have somebody to guide you, someone who has your back, someone who will tell you or give you a little direction or give you that encouragement to push in the right direction. And after 1 week of an absolutely disastrous start to my 2003 World Cup campaign, where India was doing incredibly well, mind you, they were winning it was like this particular World Cup. They won every match till the final. 1 week into it, they took me to, it was like an intervention, but a really good kind of intervention. They took me aside and they said, we are not expecting you to be a commentator or an analyst or you know, or you are just there to present. You are a familiar face. People know you from your television that you've done, and that's what you need to do. And that's why you're there. That's the position you've been given. So take the pressure off you. This is a very important thing. I think a lot of young people over here can learn. You know, we are also, you know, driven by goals. We're also driven by, you know, deadlines. Sometimes you need to take the pressure off yourself and enjoy what you do. So that was the advice given to me that fateful day in South Africa, where they said, you know what, you're not an analyst, you're not a commentator, you're not an expert, you're just a presenter, so start enjoying yourself. And this is something not just for your work, this is for anything in life. You know, when you read these Instagrammable quotes everywhere that say, do more of what you enjoy, or enjoy what you do, that there's a lot of truth to that. Because if you love what you do, if you enjoy your work, if you're enjoying the process, if you don't wake up every morning saying, oh my God, this is such a drag, and I'm not looking forward to my day of work, it will feel like work. But the day you start actually loving what you do and being grateful for what you do and enjoying what you do, everything changes. And honestly, from that first disastrous week to what transpired after that, it changed a lot of people's minds. The audiences sitting back home said, okay, she lifts the panel up. There's something she brings to the table. And I had a long enough tournament to convert a lot of people, change a lot of people's minds. But I do have to tell you this, you know, the beginning few days were bad, not just because I was seeking acceptance from the audience, which I was not getting. I was not seeking acceptance from my colleagues. They were my colleagues, right? I had legends sitting around me who I had grown up watching and enjoying as a child, as a young girl who watched cricket. And the legends around me did not take me seriously. They did not respect me. And that can be very unnerving. And if your colleagues who are males look down on you, are condescending towards you, there's no way you can rise. There's no way you can do better. There's no way you can uplift yourself. And honestly, it was like there'd be a red light, and the red light would be on this expert, and I'd ask this expert some question. It was maybe meaningless to him. And he would stare me down and just turn and look at the camera and answer whatever he wanted. I was hugely disrespected. And post that wonderful intervention, if I asked questions of the legend, and I say, legend number one, this is my question, and he'd stare at me and look at the camera and answer whatever it is he wanted to answer, I'd say, but sir, you didn't answer my question. My question was this.
Yes, I
and he had
remember
no
that.
choice to answer. So the point is, you take yourself seriously, everyone around you will. You enjoy yourself, everyone around you will as well.
Yeah.
Love what you do. Be grateful for you. I'm telling you, I've become a spiritual person over the years. I've been in the business for 30 years, and 30 years is a long time. Some of you people are not even 30 years old. I've been in the business of entertainment for 30 years, and the reason I'm standing today and I'm relevant and I love what I do is because every single morning I wake up with gratitude and I look forward to my day of work. I know it was a little bit of a roundabout answer to this question, but I needed to say this. If you love what you do, people around will also enjoy your company and be a part of the ride with you.
So Dr. Ananta, same thing. Personally, I have realized the importance of having women in almost all the top departments are in good positions mostly because of their emotional intelligence, you know. Because real estate is a very fragile field. We need to have that connect, that empathy, be it towards customers, be it towards the external stakeholders and everybody. So based on your experience of being on the board, what difference did you as a person, as a woman, brought in the board which other men could not have got? And why it is so important for all companies to have women in equal representation in the top positions?
A seat at the table or being in a CXO position that's where the decisions are taken. And ultimately, no matter what product, which builder or developer is creating, he is creating it for an audience. He's creating it for a target customer. And if you don't have an understanding of the customer, if you're just sitting in your corner offices or sitting in some Rapunzel's castle and planning and designing, you're a civil engineer, you would understand what difference it makes when you go on the drawing board. I mean, from the time you buy land to the time you get approvals to your RERA clearances and then finally launch it and then build it and the guy moves in, it's like a decade. of investment almost, if not half a decade. So you have to understand your market and you have to plan your product and homes, not just for 10 years, plan for 50 years. If you do not understand the customer, and the understanding, I think, is where women score very high. One, it's a natural instinct that they have for making spaces good, whether it is the home or whether it is office or whether it's the landscaping part. Very practical solutions come from women and very naturally they come. It's just that men and women are different. I'm not saying one is better, the other is better. Both are equally good. But there's a lot of positive feedback that you get. So particularly, and also there's a lot of patience. Let me also add one more point, taking a cue from what Mandira just said. You know, when women are coming to do a job, they are very serious. They are very serious, they are very ambitious, they are very focused. And when boys are coming to for a job, maybe they are all of this, but also there are smoke breaks, the golf course, the evening bar mein discuss kar lenge. Women don't do that mostly. They come,
Doctor,
calm.
I love how you said when women come to a job and when boys come to a job. You didn't say men. Because boys will only be boys.
Women help the boys to grow up and become men, right? So that nurturing instinct is very strong. And therefore, see, life is an echo. Whatever you will keep throwing back, it will come back to you twice as much. So nobody is supposed to reach the top of your game, be on top of the pyramid, but as long as you are doing something productive, adding to the GDP, achieving your dreams, it's great to be a housewife as well. There's nothing, this thing. But if you wish to study and if you wish to do something, don't be under the pressure that, oh, मुझे वहाँ पहुँचना ही है, लेकिन जो भी काम आपकी टेबल पे आए, उसको अगर आप sincerely पूरा मन लगा के करते रहेंगे, आपको जहाँ पहुँचना है, आप पहुँच ही जाएंगे. At the end of it, you got 3 shernis sitting here. So I'm like literally, घर के रास्ते भूल गए, सब शेर खुल गए, So everyone can achieve everything. It's just how focused and how much into it you are. But let me also say that in our society and in our family, the primary responsibility of taking care of the family still in most houses is with the woman. And you actually have, of course, 30 years in her profession, 33 years, 3 decades in my profession also. But at the end of it, we are mothers as well. So there's a balancing act that has been done. So on time management, also women score very high. Your phone conversations and, backseat driving and all, you utilize every second very productively. I have seen that with women. And so that's why I would vouch for it. Men may have it too, but women definitely have it.
But I want to say something, very often when I'm a part of panels and I have conversations about parenthood, and they always say working mother, working mother, working mother. Do they ever say working father? Do they ever say working father? I'm a working father. Now, as a rule, when people ask me questions on working mothers, I say, what about the fathers? He's a working father too.
Yeah.
And he should be contributing to whatever needs to be done at home as much as the mother does.
Yeah.
So I find this very, disturbing. As a working mother, how do you manage this?
Yes,
and as a working mother, how do you manage that? Right now, I'm a working mother and a father.
Yeah.
I'm a working parent.
Yes.
I'm a single parent at this point of time in my life, and I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
But it has always disturbed me.
Yeah.
Next time, whoever,
Yes.
has a conversation about this, please be
Yes.
mindful to say working parent.
Yeah.
Because the working father should be contributing as much to all that's going on at home as the working mother does. Because
hope
why should
everyone's
every bit of
listening.
responsibility, work and home, all be on the mother's head?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Mandira.
There's a new trend on social media which is very real, self-love and me time. And a powerful line from Mandira Bedi's book, Happy for No Reason, loving yourself is not vanity, it is sanity. Please throw some light on self-love and fitness. There are a lot of fitness freaks here also.
Well, first I'm going to say self-love is something I the generation, millennials know of self-love. You're a millennial. You know of self-love only too well. I've discovered it very late in my life. I discovered it only in the 40s because I used to just run. I used to just do what needed to be done. I used to burn myself out. I did not care about what, emotionally, what my space was, as long as things were getting done. And I just think self-love has a couple of aspects to it. There is, the first part of it is to accept yourself with all your flaws, accept yourself the way you are, accept yourself. I wouldn't even like to call it flaws, but I would just like to say accept yourself the way you are, okay? That's one aspect of self-love. We beat ourselves up so much about ये गलत हुआ, ये ठीक नहीं हुआ, आज मीटिंग में ऐसे होना चाहिए था पर हुआ नहीं, आज मैंने ये गलती कर दी, और फिर we dwell on it for a very long period of time. And we just have to learn how to cut ourselves some slack and live in the present moment and say mistakes happen and let's move ahead and let's move on. That's one part of self-love. Loving yourself regardless of what. When things go wrong in my life, not major things, I'm saying if a small thing goes wrong in the day, I give myself precisely 1 hour to feel bad about it. If it's something slightly bigger, 1 day to feel bad about it and then move on. Because it's not good for my mental health to stay stuck to it. So that's one part of self-love. Accept yourself the way you are. The other part of self-love is, let's take me to the next level. Let me give myself that much time, do something that I love, do something that nourishes me, that makes me the best version of myself, right? So if I take out 1 hour for yoga or exercise or to meditate or to just do something that makes me happy, I am pouring into my cup. As a working parent, I'm not going to say working mother, as a working parent, okay, we do so many things, all right? We look after our children, we work, we look after our parents, like sons don't know how to look after, but we look after our parents. We are so many different roles. And to be the best, if you fill your cup, you can be the best version of yourself for all the roles. You can be the best daughter, you can be the best wife, you can be the best parent, you can be the best professional. All that comes when you fill your cup. So take care of yourself, fill that cup. That's what self-love is. Do things, take yourself to the next level. Do things that make you a better version of yourself, the best version of yourself. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. That's what and self-love is something I learned too late in my life, but it's never too late, as they say. But learn to love yourself because that's the best thing you can do for yourself. It's sanity. It is not, and self-love very often gets mistaken for selfishness. Selfishness and self-love are not the same thing. Self-love is taking care of yourself so that you can take care of others. You know what they say about that oxygen mask? Yeah? They first say the moment it comes down, you put it on yourself and then you put it on your people around you. So take care of yourself so you can take care of others. That's what self-love is.
This house is full of real estate people जो कि सुबह से शाम तक भागते रहते हैं. हमारे पास टाइम नहीं होता है. कस्टमर बुला दिया, कुछ भी बुला दिया. Say something about fitness and how important it is.
थोड़ा तो वक्त अपने लिए निकालना ज़रूरी है ना. मैं लोगों को ये इक्वेशन देती हूँ कि 24 घंटे हैं दिन में, ठीक है? 24 घंटे दिन में तो 8 घंटे अगर आप सोते हो तो 16 घंटे बचते हैं. कितने? 16 घंटे. 16 घंटों में आप 45 मिनट्स नहीं निकाल सकते एक्सरसाइज के लिए? ऑफ कोर्स निकाल सकते हैं, हर कोई निकाल सकता है. और दूसरी बात ये है एज फार एज फिटनेस इज कंसर्न्ड, यू नो व्हाट वी डू, वी से यू नो व्हाट, अच्छा अभी January 1st आने वाला है, आई एम गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अ न्यू जिम मेंबरशिप एंड आई एम गोइंग टू, फर्स्टली व्हाट कम्स विद अ जिम मेंबरशिप इज a trip to the sports shop, buying new gear, all of that. Then you get yourself a trainer and then you try and go. It's a long process. It's 2 hours in a day. I say don't start with all of that. Start with something simple. Start with walking. Start with running. You don't need any equipment for that. You just need a pair of running shoes. And the best part about walking or running is the moment you finish tying your shoelaces, away you go. Your workout is started. And then nothing succeeds like success, right? तो थोड़ा आप एक्सरसाइज करेंगे, आप थोड़ा रेगुलरली चलेंगे या दौड़ेंगे या जो भी करेंगे, फिर आपकी जो पैंट है ना थोड़ी लूज हो जाएगी. फिर आप बोलेंगे वाह कुछ तो ठीक हो रहा है. उसके बाद आप जिम ज्वाइन करो. You see, don't do it right away. Start easy. Start with something that you can do on a regular basis, that you can do 5 days a week, 6 days a week. हम ना fitness को लेकर, what we do is we very often look at the entire staircase. Okay? What do we need to do? We need to look at the first step. So even when you're giving yourself goals as far as fitness is concerned, ये मत सोचो कि मुझे 10 किलो घटाने हैं. ये सोचो कि मुझे 1 किलो घटाना है. और वो 1 किलो के लिए मैं अपने आप को 10 दिन देती हूँ. ठीक है? तो 10 दिन के बाद 1 किलो जब घट जाएंगे आप बोलोगे वाह शाबाश अभी चलो 1 और किलो घटाना है. और उस करके आपके सारे ऐसे करते करते आपके सारे 10 किलो उतर जाएंगे. But don't think about the 10 kilos because it's very, very easy to fall off the wagon. We have to think of ways to stay on the wagon. You know, getting into fitness is very, very easy. Getting into fitness is like, you know, okay, I'm going to make a resolution. Then you go to the gym. You go one time, you go to, you know, twice. And then after that, excuses come up. You just winked at me like that. I know you don't exercise as much as you should and you want to. But the point is you've got to do things that keep you going. That can keep you going. It can't just be once or twice a week. और दूसरी बात ये है फिटनेस को लेकर जितना भी आप एक्सरसाइज करें जिम में अगर आप घर में वापस आकर गुलाब जामुन खाएंगे तो बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. You can't beat what you eat. It's about 70% food and 30% exercise. So start small and start with it and don't do any of these fad diets and crash diets. Do something that you can do in the long run that is sustainable, be it your exercise program or your diet plan. And actually, हमें dietitian की ज़रूरत भी नहीं पड़ती है क्योंकि you know dietitians, I mean it's no rocket science. You know what's fattening and you know what's not. So I just say one step at a time. Take baby steps and nothing succeeds like success. Nothing motivates you more than results. You see some results and you say, wow, I'm feeling slimmer. Clothes are fitting me better. Then you move to the next level. Then you move to the next level. And soon you'll be like, you know, 6-pack.
So Dr. Ananta, because you started your career managing dealer relationship, so how important it is to have a good channel partner relationship in today's time? How do you see all the channel partners and any message, any improvements you have to make for them?
I must tell you, I love all the channel partners, and I think at least 90% of them in this room, as well as the next generation I have known for the last 3 decades. Whatever I am today, like she said, you know, 70% is diet and 30% is exercise. 70% of my success I owe to them, because at the end of it, whatever it is, ultimately, every business is based on the P&L. And I also spoke to you about, you know, having your ears to the ground and knowing what is happening and what your customers want. It was a very informal way of market research when I started out in 91. And I knew exactly what the customer needed, thanks to all of them. They were the ones who would actually land up at 6 o'clock in the morning if the customer wanted, at the airport when the customer was taking his flight. But when it came to capturing market share, there is nothing better than a great channel partner team. And I think they are just extensions of every organization. Every real estate company is only as strong as its channel partners. And a pool like this, by Joe, 30,000 realtors. And this 16th NAR conference, I have been seeing from the first one how they have moved and got together and the way they have evolved. In this room, we have lawyers, we have chartered accountants. They've changed the complete perception of what channel partners in real estate were. So, and then they are running training programs. I mean, these are such wonderful initiatives, policy advocacy. So they are ahead. When nobody was thinking about EV points in apartments, 10 years back they had said, this is what will be needed, so plan. So I think it's very, very special. It's a very special relationship for me. And I think I am extremely grateful to every single person in this room for what they are doing. बिट्टा जी की स्पीच बहुत ग्रेट थी, where he said भारत माता की जय, बट भारत माता का एक एक स्क्वायर यार्ड पे क्या हो रहा है वो इस पूल को पता है, that what is happening, what is its value, how to enhance the value. So a big salute to all of you, and I think the second largest employer in the country, I mean, these things don't just happen like that. And now with our highways being the way they are, our airports being the way they are, the next decade is actually the most interesting and exciting decade for every realtor. So I think Navigate will navigate us, and somewhere I think our Naris also don't have to wait. They should also join the bandwagon. Thank you.
So I got to know that Mandira Bedi is also a real estate owner because she has bought a home and she's pretty happy with it. So how has your experience been with buying a real estate house?
Oh, no, all my investments are only in real estate. That's the truth. Bankers keep calling me up and saying to me, Acha, you've got funds in your bank and we're thinking we have a very nice proposal for you. And I'm like, I'm going to collect a few more funds and then I'm going to buy a flat. So I am reasonably well invested today because all my money that I've been earning over the years, I've been putting into real estate. So it's not a home. I've been buying over the years, and I've been in the business for 30 years. And real estate has never gone wrong for me. It's always been, I've more than, doubled or tripled my value every time.
Real estate is booming. So if you have any suggestions, you can refer to NAR India and they will take care of you.
I'm looking to buy a place in Goa. Just saying.
So Mandira, what plans for the future? Any new project that you are working on that you would like to reveal a bit of it to all of us?
There is a web show that is in the pipeline at the moment. I'm not going to talk about it till I start shooting it. But having said that, I spend 10 or 12 days in my month as a speaker, sometimes in a panel, sometimes as a host, like our lovely host today. She's incredible. Big round of applause for her. Or sometimes corporates invite me to come and do workouts with them. So I stand on stage and I've never done it with 1,500 people, maybe the next time, but I do it with a lot of corporates, a lot of dealers. I've done a lot of fitness events as well. So that's what keeps me busy and I do a lot of brand work. So that's currently what it's at. But my shoot starts in April, end April.
In this era of social media, because there's a lot of pressure on each one of us to do personal branding, to do company brand building and all, and still handle the negativity and trolls. So just how have you are having more than 2 million followers on Instagram. So how have you dealt with any kind of negativity or trolls, but still keep on posting and keeping yourself motivated to do more?
I don't know what's wrong with people who, under the guise of anonymity, feel they can say anything. And that's what social media is all about. They follow you, and then because they are actually nameless and faceless, they can say anything. So I've been called everything. I've been called ugly, I've been called fat, I've been called old, I've been called something like, Auntie apni jawani nahi bhulti, something like that also because of what I wear. And so the thing is, there was a time when social media came into being and we first opened our accounts, and then all the positive feedback that you get, you just ignore. It's the negative feedback that really, pokes and hurts. So I remember when I opened my Twitter account, which is now called X, I used to only look for the negative comments, and whenever there'd be a negative comment, I would reply and I'd say something, equally sort of nasty back. And then I realized this is what these trolls are asking for. They're just asking for attention. So it's been about 15 years since, the negativity's also come down because I only use social media to post positive things. I either post workouts or I post what is going on in my mind, something positive. So the negativity has also come down. So nobody really says negative stuff anymore. But when there are a few, and there are few and far between, there are a few that keep coming still. And when they do, you do nothing but ignore. Ignore. I don't even delete because that's also reaction. I let it be on my page, but I ignore. So you gotta show these people who are anonymous and who are cowards that they really don't matter. That's it.
Thank you so much, Mandira and Dr. Ananta.
Thank you.
We had a great time, and I hope the house is full. So audience surely had a good time, and to hear a bit of your side.
I have, oh, wonderful. It felt like Charlie's Three Angels speaking. So thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for them? Such fantastic wisdom coming for all of us while they speak. And I'm going to call Ms. Kirti Bhosle, Vice President, NAR India, to give the mementos. Request all our women realtors to come ahead for a photo with Mandira. I'm sure this is such an exciting moment for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having a group picture. All right. Could we have a group picture? A group picture. Everyone please move behind. Okay, let's move a little bit. Let's move a bit. Okay. Industry are these beacons of inspiration. Can we have a round of applause for our dynamic women from the real estate industry?